alaikum everyone. My name is Aisha Riaz. I'm a LinkedIn personal branding strategist, also CEO and founder of Be Marque, a personal branding agency. And today we have with us a very special guest, Syed Faizan Rahman, an expert from Core.Cognitive who specializes in mind sciences and NLP coaching. So let's hear him today. Welcome to the ground, sir.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Aisha. How things have been? All good with you?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, just going good with Ramadan. What about
Great.
you?
Well, been doing great. Alhamdulillah. All's going well.
So, mind sciences is all around the corner whenever we are on your profiles. But in daily lives, we never heard of this term, to be very honest. As an entrepreneur, as a student, I really want to know that what exactly is mind sciences and does it really affect our daily lives that much?
Mhm. See, mind science, it's a broad term, first of all, and it covers a lot of things like, what our beliefs are, what's
Okay.
our thought process, what kind of emotional translation do we give to information around us. And, it's a combination. It's a combination of your beliefs, your thought process, some kind of, background that some information your subconscious hold, and it completely affects basically your personality. It affects your decision making, even how you treat people, how you manage your relationships, whether it's friends, family, or anyone. It
Okay.
affects everyone. And I mean, like, it's not something that is developed or built in one day. It is developed over a period of time. So mind
Okay.
science, it's just a combination of your feelings, thoughts, processes, and beliefs, and how you use them to deal with the information that comes your way.
That's actually so cool. I mean, something that affects our life every single day, and
Exactly.
we generally don't even know about it. That's super interesting. So, next up, we have you specialize in NLP as a subject as well.
Right.
What exactly is NLP and like how we can use that?
Well, NLP has two factors there. By definition, it's neuro-linguistic programming. Okay.
Okay.
So neuro is your mind, linguistic is how you process information with it. You know, that's neuro-linguistic. And by neuro-linguistic
Okay.
programming, we mean that how we can actually train ourselves, our minds, and our brains to process and perceive information and use it for our personal development, growth, dealing with people. And honestly, it's like more of an everyday trait. It's not something,
Okay.
like a scientific term or something, but something that you use perhaps every day.
All right, all right. This makes sense. So now that you mentioned that is related to our daily lives, how exactly does our emotions or like mind sciences affect our behaviors and how we can improve that? I mean, that is something that not only a student and entrepreneur, but every single person can implement in their daily lives.
See, I shall give you an example here. So you can relate it better. For example,
Okay.
you are wearing a dress, right? Some people would comment on that. Aisha, you look really beautiful in that. You're carrying it very well. Some would say, this color doesn't suit you. Oh, you look
Yeah,
this,
happens.
you look that. So what happens is consciously you would just ignore that. But in your
Okay.
subconscious mind, that information would reside. So next time when you will pick up that color or you will pick up that dress, the first
Hmm.
thing that comes to your mind is that compliment, basically, that was given to you,
Yeah,
right? And
happens.
immediately when that compliment comes to your mind, if it was positive, you would feel good. Okay, I will use this dress
Mhm.
again and
Yeah.
I would be getting similar compliment. But if it was a negative one, what would be your feeling? Oh, I would again be hearing something that wasn't very good or very nice to me.
Yeah.
You know? So
I
what
might lose confidence as well.
exactly? And I was coming to the same point. The moment you recalibrate in your mind,
Mm.
in your subconscious mind, that okay, something negative has happened with it. So you know how people say, "This is my lucky dress. This is my lucky dress." So
Yeah.
what's the lucky dress thing? Basically, because they have received positive feedback using that
Okay.
dress, so that resides with them. And the moment you get a negative feedback on it, so it's, oh, it's not lucky for me, I am never successful, it's not
Mhm.
that thing basically, but how you started to perceive it, you know? Like if you would
Right.
say, okay, this isn't lucky for me, nothing's going to be right. So even what, for example, if you're hosting an event, you would lose
Mhm.
confidence immediately and you won't be able to execute it how you usually execute, right?
Right.
So that's how
This
your
so
emotions
cool.
affect your daily life.
Okay, this actually makes so much sense. I mean, you're just getting the introduction done, and I'm already having a very clear view of how things work in here. And I mean, for all of us, I guess it's
Exactly.
always been there, mind sciences. So next up we have, what's the difference between subconscious and conscious mind? Because this one thing is something that I have always read on your like LinkedIn profile and on Core Cognitive every single where. I really want to know what exactly is the difference between it.
Okay, see, conscious and subconscious mind, our brain has two parts. One is the
Okay.
logical part, the other one is, the emotional part of the brain.
Okay.
And when we are awake, when we are using our five senses, we are using our conscious mind. But
Okay.
our subconscious mind is always at play in the background.
All right.
I mean, like just to make it simply understandable, if I would say French fries,
Mm-hmm.
what do you get in your mind immediately?
Ketchup.
You okay? So you got ketchup, right? Because you
Yeah.
always use ketchup to eat those French fries. But in general,
Yeah.
what's the term there?
Like
Like
it's potato.
like
It's
it's a
fried.
potato that's cut
Yeah.
in certain shape, it's deep fried and all. So did you ever consciously or with a plan or with an intention ever try to say, like the moment I said the French fries, you said ketchup. Did you ever consciously try to remember that a French fry would always be with a ketchup? No.
No.
Your subconscious mind
Yeah.
processed it immediately because you have this memory, this information is stored in some way in your
Hmm.
subconscious mind, right? So
Right.
that's the difference of conscious and subconscious mind. Even the same thing that I was telling you about, do you
Hmm.
receive feedback about your dress or something?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Right.
stored in your subconscious mind. Consciously, you say, oh, they're just saying it, it's their nature, it's their habit. But in
Right. Right.
actual, your brain has stored because your brain stores every piece of information that you ever come across, whether using all your five senses, whether it's a sound, whether it's a smell, whether it's a taste, whether it's a feeling from touch or something. So all your five
Mm-hmm.
senses, that is getting stored in your subconscious mind. And it
Right.
is always at play. Like the same thing, some of the
Mm-hmm.
kids who have some kind of, tough childhood where the parents were really harsh, shouting this and that. So even at any point of time, even if someone else would be using a loud voice, even for talking, the child would get scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this
Right.
is how the subconscious mind stores information. Unintentionally, it getting stored. So,
Right. This
so
actually
with this
makes sense.
example, I think you have fair idea what conscious, what
Right.
subconscious mind is.
Hmm. It really makes sense actually because I remember I was using this particular perfume in my school life, and all of a sudden, a few days back, one of my cousins was using it. And I was like, I got all those school memories recalled back in my mind without even realizing that that is the particular perfume. And I was
Exactly.
like, I don't even remember the name of the perfume, but somewhere in my mind, I remembered everything.
Exactly.
Right, right, right. This actually makes so much sense. So next up we have like there's this concept of creating habits. Some people say that you need this much days to create an habit and this and that, right? So how does the brain create habits? And can we reprogram those habits? I mean, I want to learn something new. Can we actually do that?
Okay. See, I will tell you something which possibly a lot of people won't agree, but again, this is more like from experience and from observation and how I've coached people for quite a number of years. So if you want to make, for example, coffee, all right,
Mm.
what you would do, you would just go, you would pick up the cup, you would put
Yeah,
sugar, you would put coffee, you would put some creamer, hot water, and you would just mix it, right?
right.
So when you are making coffee, are you doing it consciously?
No, I
No.
just know, like, I just know
Ex-
about it.
You just know about it, right?
Yeah.
So that's more like exactly the thing that you are saying, because you have done it so many times, it has become
Mm-hmm.
second nature to you. And in fact, even when you're putting things together, your mind is thinking about something else consciously.
Yeah.
You are never thinking that, okay, 1 spoon of coffee,
Yeah.
1 spoon of sugar, 2 spoons of cream
Never.
or hot water, and just mix it, right? Never.
Mm-hmm. Never.
So when you talk about habits, like if you do something for like a couple of days or even a couple of hours, if you would do something consistently, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then your muscles, even some people say, even when I'm sleeping, my hands are vibrating or my eyelids are, because during the day you have done that motion so much
Okay.
so that your muscle is storing that memory in some way,
Okay. So there
right?
comes the concept of muscle memory.
Exactly. And even your brain is a muscle. If you don't use your
Right.
brain properly, it will
Mm.
retard. It won't function
Okay.
the way it is supposed to.
Right.
So you need to keep your memory sharp. You need to do everything. And for
Mm.
your answer, like how the habits are developed and all, it's the same thing. Like for smokers, like they would first time they would smoke it from a friend,
Mm-hmm.
then they would make it a habit that every time that friend is going out, they would go with them, they would have a smoke, and then they will start buying it. So when they
Right.
actually buy the cigarettes themselves, that is something that's
Mm.
not no longer a habit. It has become their second nature.
Right. 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 So, I mean, they cannot just even live without it. I'd say that.
Well, again, like I have,
It's up to them.
yeah, it's up
Yeah.
to them. In the end, it's a personal choice. So
Right.
because I have dealt with people, they were actual
Mm.
addicts with the different kind of, you know, not the legal stuff, but illegal drugs. Even. So
Okay.
over a period of time, like some of them took 3 weeks, some of them took 6 weeks, but they were able to get rid of this habit of theirs.
I mean, even if we talk about the legal stuff, most of the people around us are, addicted with caffeine, like tea or coffee. They cannot just work without it.
See, I'll tell you something. Caffeine is the legal addictive drug, I would say, that's
Okay.
across the globe. Caffeine in
Okay.
form of tea, in form of coffee, in form of even soft drinks, because soft drinks have a huge amount of caffeine as well. It has
Okay.
pesticide, it has caffeine, it has carbohydrates, a lot of them. Carbohydrate itself is quite addictive, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. And even a lot of carbon dioxide is there because that's a carbonated drink, basically.
Right. I mean, that's so strange. The legal, addictive, some sort of thing is very common all around the world.
Exactly.
So, next up we have like what is self-talk and how does this affect our confidence and performance? Because I have personally heard about this one concept a lot, especially from the people who just get on the TED talks and stage and etc. They talk about this one thing a lot. So, what exactly is this?
See, self-talk is like how you talk to yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the same thing. Again, coming back to the first example that I gave you about the dress. The moment you pick it up, the thought that comes
Mm-hmm.
to you, you repeat that thought in your mind in terms of words, right?
Right.
Last time someone said, I'm looking really good in this dress.
Mm-hmm.
This is a self-talk, right?
Okay.
Or you're saying, okay, I wasn't looking very good in this, but I don't have an option, so I have to use this. The moment you do any kind of negative self-talk, it immediately damages your confidence.
Hmm.
Immediately, you reinforce your subconscious with that thought that this would never work out or this thing would never
Okay.
be good for me. So self-talk
Okay.
is like, how you talk to yourself, how do you advise yourself? And
Okay.
I always tell people in my workshops, even, that whenever I need some expert advice, I talk to myself
Okay. Well, you are
because
an expert.
because I know and I recognize the negative patterns. I mean, like over the years, like over a couple of years, I have practiced it so much that I know whenever there's a negative sentiment or something, I know how to
Mm.
immediately reprogram it for myself.
Yeah. Okay,
Otherwise,
that's
I'm a normal person like you. I'm a normal person like anyone else who walks around, right?
uh,
I'm no superhuman that I won't be having emotional hits
mhm.
or I won't be having negative feedback or anything. I mean, like I always tell this example, even when I'm coaching entrepreneurs, that for the first time when I was starting with my entrepreneurship career about 5 years back, the investor just turned on my face in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. We were talking and he just turned around and said, I'm not interested.
Oh, that's harsh.
It's not just a matter of harsh. And again, after that, how would I perceive it? How would I come back and how I would process it for the next conversation, even in the same venue,
Mm.
in front of all the people around? Because, these kind of environments, it's more like a big gathering. You just discuss your ideas, you talk to people and all.
Yeah.
So, and that day, I simply realized, I mean, like, I took my 10 to 15 minutes at that time because I was
Mm.
not an NLP practitioner then or a
Oh,
MindScience coach then, but you know, I took 10 to 15 minutes and then good thing was like I was with a couple of friends of mine and I was just thinking, what did I do wrong? At least at that time I was able to think, what did I do wrong? How should I have started with it
mm.
instead of,
Mm.
so at least he would pay more attention to me. So I might have
Okay.
missed something instead of saying, oh, this has happened to me. Now no one will listen to me. I am insulted. I
Mm.
am getting hurt. People are not listening to me. It's a great idea. They are not treating me with respect, all kind of
Yeah.
these things. Because our brain immediately goes in self-defense mode.
Yeah. It does that. Like, I'm always like thinking about this one thing. One bad things happen, and the brain goes like, okay, there are 10 to 20 references to it, and it's all the whole world around you has just turned negative. Forget about all the good things and just
Exactly.
focus on this one thing.
Exactly. And even today morning, like I was talking to someone, and that was the first thing that we started with when we started talking. That okay, at least be thankful for everything that you have today, right?
Right.
Everyone has financial problems, everyone
Hmm.
has problems in their relationships, people are struggling with making ends meet, you know, like
Right.
every region or every country has a different kind of problem.
Right.
So I simply said, at least start with gratitude, be thankful
Hmm.
for what you have. I mean, like you're having a roof on your head,
Hmm.
you're you're having meal ready for you that you can consume on time. You're healthy.
Right.
You're able to walk around. You're able to move around.
Hmm.
You are able to use anything that you want. You are able to, perform any
Yeah.
kind of chores that you have. So you're not depending on someone or something there. So start
Right.
with that, at least with that gratitude, then you would know. And there is one image that I usually share in my presentations. It's like
Hmm.
once you see it, you will feel all the plates are upside down. And you would focus on one plate. As soon as you feel that one plate is in the right direction, that it's placed correctly, all the other plates would immediately switch in your mind that everything else is fine.
Hmm.
So this is, when you talk to yourself, focus on one good, then everything else would become good around you also.
Okay, that's actually such a good affirmation. I mean, we all need to have this one thing because whenever one negative thing happens, we forget about all the blessings. We forget about all the
Exactly.
privileges that we have. So
Exactly.
even we are breathing right now is such a privilege.